A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed Aftersought. And now, I'd just like to go on ahead and say that I pretty much got some unfinished business when it comes to talking about certain zombie strike blasters out there, because there are still quite a few that I've already missed. And you know what? I guess now's the time for me to start talking about another one here that I got that, honestly, I can't really put my finger on, but this blaster right here, I got plenty of questions about this one, but this right here is the Zombie Strike Ripchain. Pretty much a combination of, well, a large shotgun combined with that of a chain gun and an MG. I mean, it kind of resembles that of some old World War II style machine guns like the MG42 with a long chain on it, but a chain that circles around, I don't really get why that's necessary, but okay, what is this? Well, okay. Okay, I get it, working again, I'm sorry, but anyways, I'm just kind of confused at this point because from what I already understand, this thing is meant to be, well, a chain-fed blaster, similar to that of the old N-Strike Vulcan EBF-25 or even the Elite XD Havoc Fire, but this one in general is a little questionable for me, specifically because of how this chain is shaped. I mean, sure it can hold a large amount of darts, but I mean, look at that. Does that kind of seem ridiculous to you? I don't really know at this point. Like, comment down below if you think it's ridiculous or anything else. I mean, I'm a bit confused at this blaster, but also I feel like it's a hilarious, like, thing to note. That you could probably do some crazy stuff with this. Because, come to think of it, I've actually had some people come around claiming this thing's like some sort of weird belt or whatever. But, of course, it's kind of average based on its functionality. I mean, you just pump the grip on the bottom here and fire. But let's also not forget, yeah, this thing's got slam fire, alright, and out of darts? Okay, well, this time I'm completely out of darts here, but you know what? That's totally fine because I got myself a second chain, which of course I might as well say this version right here is pretty much full of invisibullets. Yeah, I kind of pre-planned some of this stuff now when it comes to loading high capacity, basically. That's why I got two belts right here. I got one there and I got one sitting in front of me, so here we go now. Let's see how this basically does. With invisibullets, all locked and loaded, ready to go. Wow. I honestly find this to be pretty exhilarating in many ways. So the Ripchain itself, I guess, it's a pretty questionable thing for sure, because many people don't really seem to find this to be very practical in many ways. I mean, look at how large it is on its own, because from here to here, it's kind of bulky enough as it is, but when you compare it to the chain and how low it hangs down, I mean, it's over a foot. I mean, that's kind of strange, but somewhat exciting for me. I mean, I'm kind of a thrill seeker and I tend to dive into like the very deep end of what Nerf has to offer, and of course I tend to find anything as I go along, so I guess there's not much else I could probably say. I mean, the sling attachment points, the Zombie Strike styling, including the tape wrapping around the grip itself, and not to mention the many things that make it look like it's a custom-made sort of thing out there, but the Ripchain itself, I guess, it's a bit questionable at first, but when you get down to it, I mean, it's basically the combination of that with a shotgun pump grip and pretty much everything else relating to that of an MG42 in a way, because of the large chain. But since the chain circles around, I mean, I don't really see much relevance to it. But in general, I'm not really complaining about it. The Ripchain is probably one of those rare breeds where you could probably find a lot in there. There's so much that you could discover out of the Zombie Strike lineup in general. Something that you could find in general that seems to be different than many others out there. Of course, I've actually talked about a lot of Zombie Strike blasters, but this one is many ways different than many of the others I've already spoke about here in the series. Or maybe the franchise in general. I mean, since day one, I was probably expecting a lot to come around. And the Ripchain, I guess, is one of those. I probably can't give it a very high score, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, well, its functionality, its styling, and of course, its usage of a chain-fed belt, it kind of does make for it to be one of those kind of blasters. If the Vulcan EBF-25 and Havoc Fire, and also any of those other ones that also had chain-fed belts, I guess this one right here could deserve a lot of credit for bringing back that part in our lives. So my overall score for it, well, it'll be probably no higher than a 6.7. Mainly for the fact that, well, it's got a bit of a bulky size in it, and some darts actually misfire if you don't really handle them correctly when loading them into the chain itself. So, of course, that's two big flaws right there. And a single tactical rail on the top, as you can see, it probably doesn't serve too much purpose. But if you pick out something like, I guess, a dart storage holder, then, well, let's see if that works. Okay, so it does work. I'm sorry, there have been plenty of other blasters I've tried this on, and they don't really seem to work with this most of the time. I guess the Ripchain is acceptable, though, for that point. 6.7 is my overall score for it. Well, anyways, though, that's pretty much all I got to talk about the Zombie Strike Ripchain. But if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.